Hi, my name is Lila Weizer, and this quarter, along with my teammates Hayden, Abbey, and Max, I worked on the data science clinic project with Food System 6. Food System 6 is a nonprofit organization that really focuses on supporting innovators, entrepreneurs, as well as individual farmers who are working to transform the food and agriculture system to be more sustainable, equitable, and resilient. Specifically, this quarter, we focused on Food System 6's efforts within poultry farming. So, kind of fueling that shift from conventional poultry farming to regenerative poultry farming. So just to kind of give some quick, just kind of points about conventional versus regenerative poultry. You can see that while conventional is a lot more established as stable funding sources, federally supported crop insurance, they also have things like guaranteed income and path to market for farmers, as well as kind of these large companies that kind of manage individual farms. On the opposite side, we have regenerative poultry, much younger system, practically non-existent infrastructure, and very little support for new farmers. Additionally, farmers have to kind of find their own path to market and their own places to sell their chickens. However, there's a lot of positives. Regenerative poultry is not only more ethical for farmers and the animals, but also has a positive environmental impact. Just to kind of give some context into how we kind of came into this project, phase one of Food System 6's efforts with regards to poultry farming started as a lengthy research brief compiled by MBA students. So it had a ton of in-depth analysis into conventional versus regenerative poultry, but it was also laden with a lot of really technical jargon that's kind of difficult to translate to the public. So we see words like integrator, broiler, just really didn't make it conducive to Food System 6's goal of kind of educating and advocating. We are also given very kind of a sparse, unstructured data. And then so this is kind of where we came in. We were tasked with kind of combining that brief and the unstructured data into a really engaging and interactive deliverable that kind of achieved Food System 6's goal of education and advocacy in a way that kind of engaged a wide variety of kind of end recipients.
So as Lila mentioned, the goal for this project was to create an interactive web page that makes these reports overall pretty visually engaging and easy to understand for various audiences. So as a deliverable for our team, we came up with a simulation game that allows users to choose their type of farming, either conventional or regenerative, and then their character type to try to face the difficulties faced by these different types of poultry farmers. So on the left-hand side of this slide, you can kind of see the workflows that our team had to go through. So on the left side of that chart, there's more of an analytical problem that involved coming up with probabilities for success and failure at different stages of the simulation game, as well as writing down the overall flow of the game, different steps that a player might have to take. And then on the right side of that chart, you can see the more engineering problem that we faced, where we use Django as a web base for Python and HTML to build the backend code for the simulation to integrate the two things into a final product, which would be an interactive website that helps users understand this system. So Food System 6's goal for this simulation was for it to be used by various people, including financial professionals, people in academics, and the general public overall. And with such a wide audience, it's important for us to remember that these insights must be tailored to a diverse group of people, not just one specific group. So we had to ensure that the simulation was educational in nature, that gave people different ways to understand the material.
Here, I will introduce the framework for the whole simulation game. So the overall goal is to compare the regenerative and conventional farming systems. The simulation is designed to explore how different decision pathways and funding sources influence farmers' outcomes and environmental impact over time. The timeline shown here captures key decision points and potential random events, such as the time to apply for external funds and accidental environmental disruption or economic challenges, which all can significantly impact the farmer's condition. The funding process is a key part of the simulation game because it shows these two types of farmers have different access to these resources. In other words, they have different success rates and for applying different fundings. If one farmer fails to secure funding, his farm may suffer heavily negative results or even get bankrupt. This type of challenges is usually faced by the regenerative farmers. Meanwhile, there are several critical metrics to evaluate farmers' outcomes, such as financial health tracker, environmental condition, and farm scale. By playing with these pathways, the player can get insights into how regenerative practices perform compared to conventional systems under varying conditions. It also highlights how access to resources and resilience to random events shape outcome over time. This is a home page of our website. It can lead to the other pages of original websites of Food System 6. The idea here is that we will combine our website and the original ones in the future so that people can directly play the simulation game from Food System 6 website. Here, we briefly introduce the background of two types of farming system, and after clicking the green button below, we can start the game.
So here is kind of the first introduction slide, or the first decision that'll come into play in the simulation game. So here you can see the basic decision between becoming a conventional or a regenerative farmer, as well as the option to learn more about each of those types of things. Next is the slide that would take you to choosing your different character type, where you could be either a beginning farmer with not many farming resources behind you, a third generation farmer where maybe you were conventional before and now you're looking to make the change to regenerative. So you have some farming equipment and land and things of that sort, or you're just a wealthy individual looking to get into the field with no farming experience, but you may have some more of a financial background. Now, here's an example of that apply for funding round that Abbey had previously mentioned, where you could apply for public funding or look to the private market. And again, it's important to reemphasize the educational nature of the game, where we'd really encourage players to click on that button to learn more about these options. And lastly, here you can see kind of a continuation slide that would be a very vital part of the simulation, where it's not necessarily a decision, but it just provides the player with some information, and they can click to continue and move on to a different part of the game.
So as Hayden mentioned, the overall goal is to educate and shed light on some of the issues that Food System 6 has to deal with. So in this simulation, we will allow for users to click on hyperlinks that will direct them to relevant educational resources. So these resources were either found by us, or a lot of them were provided to us by our external mentors. And we reached out to them to ask for this because we felt that it was extremely important for this simulation to align with the broader goals of Food System 6. The goal is to teach users about the issues and the, shortcomings in regenerative poultry and some of the decisions that a regenerative poultry farmer might face. And so we think that these educational links are the best way to do so. And just to kind of summarize what we've done so far, so we've brainstormed and pitched these creative and engaging formats to present all this information to Food System 6's target audience, to our shareholders and our external mentors. And we ultimately decided that a simulation and choose your own adventure game was the right way to go. Currently, we have a scalable framework for the game using Django and HTML. The game is not yet a finished product, finished product at all, but we do have it in a working format. And then we drafted, edited, and finalized material and language for the game in collaboration with our external mentors. In the future, we hope to kind of be able to implement this financial stability and environmental impact tracker, almost as if the user has a score when they're playing the game, so they can understand a little bit about the impact their decisions have. And then we hope to create this working game for all three different characters that seamlessly integrates within Food System 6's current website. Thank you.